Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio's, the Incoherent Ramblings of C&E. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, coming to you live from Greensboro, North Carolina, as we do every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our intro music is provided from the Podshow PodSafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com. Also, feel free to email your topics for discussion, suggestions, and comments to incoherentramblings@live.com.
Sorry about that. Eric had me distracted. It is August 13th, 2009. This is Incoherent Ramblings of C&E. I'm Christopher.
This is Eric.
We're here in the internationally famous C&E studios. Yes, we are at Greensboro, North Carolina. But even though we're here in the little small town of Greensboro, North Carolina, we are loved worldwide.
Yes, we are. We have a wide following.
We do. In fact, we have a devoted listener from the UK who is actually listening right now. Hello, stuck in the 70s. It's almost his bedtime, so he won't be hanging out for this long. But we are here. We have a few tailgaters.
We're down. I think we only got 7 out there today.
Yep, just 7. They're waving and hooting and hollering. Yeah. But it's not as hot. Our first part of the week it was like
still hot for that. I think that's why we're down.
But it was like equator hot Monday and Tuesday. And
it's like today, 97 degrees.
Yeah, now it's
humid.
It's in the 80s. And the shade with the breeze in the evening is decent.
Right.
But yeah, I think that is hurting our attendance part. I think once the fall sets in, we're probably going to go back to having complaints from our neighbors.
Yeah, we could. Right. If you want to reach us by phone today, you can call us at 646-716-6928.
Yes. And you know what I found out?
What's that?
You can. Now, it's not, we always say you can listen to our show. If you're not listening to it live, you can download it from Blog Talk Radio, MySpace, Facebook, and iTunes. You can also listen to it if you are following us on Twitter. Now, it's not hosted on Twitter where you listen to it from Twitter. And MySpace and Facebook aren't either. Actually, when you click on it, it streams it from Blog Talk Radio into that interface. So on Twitter, I didn't know this. It actually posts a link to the show. When you click on it, it goes over to Blog Talk Radio and launches the show. But if you were following us on Twitter and not MySpace or Facebook, you would still have access to that link.
Okay.
And it twits automatically. Once the show is posted and it's available for streaming, it sends a tweet out and is like, okay, this is available. So we have many different ways you can listen to us.
Absolutely.
So somebody is listening to a lot. And it's not just like one person getting all the shows at once because the numbers don't line up. It's we went from what are we about 870,000 listens?
Right.
No, it jumped in one night. It jumped from I think it
jumped a lot.
Oh yeah, but it was like 40 listens in one night. I don't know. It's so that's kind of exciting when we have a huge round of people downloading and listening.
Mm-hmm. So
we are last week we had we kind of went completely off topic. Well, we had no topic. We didn't read any of our stories.
Nope. Wasn't planned at all.
It was completely improv.
Mm-hmm.
We just basically, Eric said, well, how do you feel about X? I don't even remember now. I went off on a tangent that Eric doesn't really go on tangents, but Eric did fill in. Mm-hmm. We got some stuff off our chest.
Yeah.
I don't think any of it was inappropriate.
No.
But
it was all, I think, mainly political last week.
Yeah, it was pretty much political. Yeah. And we've always said this isn't a political show.
Right.
No,
we do have a political consultant.
We do have a political consultant. For when our listeners are asking about certain things, we may consult with him, like our political consultant. Like we have a technology consultant.
He's got a political blog out there now called Southside Libertarian, which Southside Virginia Libertarian or something like that.
Right.
But
blogging.
It's becoming quite popular.
Yeah, he's getting mentioned on the House and Senate floor.
Well, he was mentioned by a senator in some private interview or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That, so.
Creating quite the stir.
He's a rebel. He's a rebel rouser.
That's what I like. I like people to create a stir, but without violence.
Rebel is a rabble rouser.
I don't know what
I
it
don't
is.
know what it is either.
A pot stirrer is what I call it. I enjoy stirring the pot. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there, all right, as long as we're incoherently rambling. Before we get to any of our stories or anything, I want to discuss what happened to me last night.
Oh, okay.
I do. I'll keep it tame. I was out walking with my dog, the show's mascot, Bella.
Yes, Bella.
Beautiful pit bull, just turned 8 years old. We were out walking, and I heard some yelling. And I didn't really understand what it was, but it was loud and it sounded angry. And I just thought it was some. I just thought honestly that it was some young punks getting in a fight or something.
Right.
I didn't know what it was, and I wasn't really paying any attention to it because it was probably 10 after 10, something like that. And just having a nice leisurely stroll. Well, the closer I get to them, the louder it sounds. So I start understanding what they're saying, and I just blow it off at first. And I'm not going to repeat it because it was vulgar language. But they were making some racial slurs.
Mm-hmm.
They said something about how I needed to die and that they were going to come whip my tail.
Right.
And at first I was just like, what? It didn't really register, even though I heard what they were saying. But then it really started to sink in after I got just past where the voices were coming from. And then they said something about, like, I better not turn around and go back the other way. And then they started making some crude remarks about maybe with some inappropriate behavior with animals. And then I was like, oh, they're just some kids, talking junk. Right. But then it turned very violent and very aggressive. And I got scared. I'm being honest. I was completely freaked out.
Which is unlike you.
Right? Yeah. I mean, usually when stuff happens like that, I just kind of shrug my shoulders and laugh and keep going. It's like whatever. But the tone of their voices, mixed with the actual violent sentiment of their words, also mixed with the fact that it was dark, and I really had no clue where they were physically located or how many there were, because I could tell there was more than one.
You saw they were larger, right?
No, I had not seen them at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't know where they were. I was like, are they in these bushes I'm walking by? The way their voices were bouncing around, I was a little bit concerned. So I called you. I also called another friend of ours who actually lives less than a mile from where this happened. And then I called 911. I called the police, and they sent an officer out. And as I'm on the phone with the police department, I see they're on top of the roof. Well, there's more to that. Someone in our chat room just said, but you got a pit bull, why were you scared? There's actually more than that. It makes it more funny, I think. I'm sitting there, and I see there's these guys up on the roof of a daycare that's actually fenced in.
Mm-hmm.
And when they see I'm on the phone, I think they get kind of nervous because they probably assume I'm calling the police or whatever. And they jumped down off the roof, setting off the motion detector for the light. It came on. I got a pretty good look at them. It was from a far distance, but I could kind of see what they look like. And so anyhow, the police came. By the time the police got there, they were long gone.
Right.
But I didn't know that. Right. Anyhow, to address the pit bull. Okay,
You're not always armed when you walk, and you don't. And this is not like this is a bad area.
It's not a bad area.
You normally at least carry your.
I generally have either a flashlight that doubles as a baton, or an actual baton, or pepper spray when I walk at night, or a knife. And I'm like, okay, but in addition to having a pit bull, I'm not like the biggest, baddest guy around, but I'm 6'6",
right.
I weigh 260 pounds, and work out regularly, and I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm not really scared of young neighborhood teenage punks. But when they're talking about wanting to kill white people, and when they're talking about wanting to hang you and slit your throat and kill you and things like that, it's a little bit unsettling. It was unnerving. It kind of freaked me out. And when the dispatcher called back, she goes, "I have 2 officers in the area that can't find you. What do you look like?" I was like, "I'm 6'6", and I'm the only one out here with a pit bull." And she started laughing.
It's kind of hard to spot. You kind of blend in.
I was like, kind of hard. Yeah, I was like, I think they'll notice when they see me. But I mean, the point was, I don't think you can be too careful in a situation like that, because what if these had been?
Well, you also, and you get a feel for people's intentions, and you
right.
said they were. And from the inflection of their voice,
right.
you knew that it was more than just them
trash
around,
right.
trash talking. It was
exactly.
It was said with some intent.
Exactly. Yeah, I heard intent in their voice, absolutely, and that's why I was scared. I ran into some kids that were littering through they don't live in my neighborhood. They were walking through my neighborhood, taking a shortcut, and they were like, one got done with a drinking bottle. When he gets done, he throws it on the ground, and the other one like unwrapped some candy and dropped the wrapper. And I told them to come pick it up. And they gave me a few choice words and asked me what I was going to do about it. And I told them, I said, "You don't want to know what I'm going to do about it. Come pick the trash up." And there was 5 of them. They came over there and picked it up. Well, as they were walking off, they were mouthing off and whatever. To anywhere between 12 and 15 years old, whatever. I wasn't afraid of them. I wasn't being mean. I was just like, "Pick up your trash. What's wrong with you?" And I've seen them a few times since then, and they kind of like laugh and point and look at this goofball or whatever. It doesn't even faze me. I don't like whatever. I don't even pay it any mind, and I kind of like laugh with them. But this was different. I mean, this was like the inflection of their voice was, and you could hear the aggression and like the rage in their voice.
Right.
And I was kind of freaked out.
That's what you get when you live in the hood, Chris.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm living in a gangsta paradise.
That's right.
Anyhow, I just wanted to share that. There's nothing wrong with being erring on the side of caution.
That's right. Well, they say that if your inner voice is telling you something's not right, listen to it.
Right. And it rarely does that, but when it does, you're right. You should listen. You should not shun that feeling of like something's wrong here.
Right.
Absolutely.
You listen to those, the movies or not the movies, but you listen to the TV shows, the news, or whatever, and they're interviewing victims of terrible crimes.
Right.
And they almost inevitably start with, "I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't want to be rude, so I."
Right.
Or
right. Exactly. Exactly. And so the police came. They checked it out. They were there like 20 minutes. Checking out everything. I told them, I didn't.
Did they give you a ride home with your dog in the car?
No. But as they were leaving, I saw a group of kids walking up to me, and actually our mutual friend David came over, and I was on the phone, and I don't think it was them, but I was still a bit like freaked out by the whole thing. So, but yeah, I do think Bella is a pit bull, but she is probably one of the most laid-back dogs I've ever been around.
Right.
But I do think she would defend me if she thought someone had malintent, because her dander was up. That's another thing, too. You've been around Bella for a long time. She doesn't growl or bark at people.
No.
Her dander doesn't get up at people, and her dander was up. So that was another thing. My dog was telling me something was wrong, too.
Right.
So anyhow, it pays to be cautious.
Indeed.
That's the moral of that story. And also, pepper spray, at least here in America, only costs $10. Go buy you some.
I need to. I took mine off my keychain because it's bulky, and I haven't put it back on yet. So I need to start doing that again.
Right. A detective told my mother when she was coming out of the shopping centers to take her keys and put them through each of her fingers so that you would have 1, 2, 3, and that way you could like rake someone across the face. I don't think they had pepper spray available or mace back then for the normal citizen. So,
right.
Anyhow, that's a little off topic. I just wanted to share that because, and shame shame on the people that were doing that, whether they had malintent or not. But if they come again next time, they better have something with them, because I'm gonna have some mace, and I will use it.
Good. Do we have any good stories this week?
I have a story of goodwill, of someone leaving something behind in their death.
Okay.
A homeless woman. Homeless. Lived out of a shopping cart. Lived penny to penny. She died at the age of 92, and she was walking around in her shopping cart with $300,000.
Say it again.
$300,000.
Oh, the homeless woman.
Yes.
I didn't read that story today too.
She left. She was she was Jewish, and she left Hebrew University. More than $100,000. Years ago, she worked for a gentleman who her only job was to move his car every couple of hours so he could get a parking ticket. And in return, she got a hot meal and a room to live in. Sounds like fair trade.
Indeed.
She left a large amount of money to him as well.
Now, where did her money come from?
Nobody knows.
Huh.
I think she just, literally, she lived on the street, she had no bills, and every single penny she made, had a free place to stay, and every penny she made, I think she just saved.
She had free food,
yep.
And a free place to stay.
Yep. And
so if you don't have to pay for anything, I guess,
yeah.
Even if you're homeless and don't have a job, you can collect $300,000.
$10,000 over 30 years would be $300,000 right there.
Yep.
So anyhow, I thought that was kind of neat because she had no known survivors, no children. She was a Holocaust survivor.
Right.
Which I think is impressive in and of itself. So I thought that was kind of neat.
And she gave $150,000 to the Hebrew Academy.
Yeah,
is that right?
Hebrew University.
Yeah.
Going to try to give back and help out. They're going to use it for scholarships appropriately.
So they're going to give those scholarships out to the homeless.
They probably should.
They probably should.
In memory of her.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
At least one. Give one scholarship out to a homeless person a year.
Yeah. I that's the only one that I thought was of goodwill. I do have some that I think are good stories.
I got some goodwill ones here. Let's see.
Okay.
I've got one where Kansas man wins big in the lottery for the second time in 2009.
Mm-hmm. Twice.
Pretty lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Edward Williams is the definition of lucky after winning the lottery for a second time. He's 47 years old. He won $75,000 in September after paying for a $10 scratch ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Wednesday, he defied the odds again when he matched all the numbers in the Super Kansas Cash drawing to win a jackpot of nearly $900,000.
Wow.
So he's won over almost $1 million now this year.
Yeah. And he said that when he won the first time, he said it was like lightning only strikes once. So when he won the second time, he was blown away.
Yeah.
We had a story a couple months ago about someone who won like $5,000, and then like 3 or 4 days later they won $20,000 or $30,000 twice in 1 week. So that's kind of cool.
Back as I'm reading further here, a guy by the name of Keith Felix, Selix, from Waterloo, Iowa, back in 2006 won 3 different lottery prizes totaling $81,000 in 1 year. And it was shortly after his wife had died.
Well, just to let you know, Saturday night I'm going to win the Powerball for $201 million.
Are you?
Yes, I am. That's my plan.
I've not bought that one. I guess that means that I didn't win it yesterday.
You did not.
Because I did have a ticket for it yesterday.
But don't need to waste your money for Saturday because I'm winning. I've already made that proclamation that I will win.
There you go.
I will defy the odds.
I have another good story here about a boy who was sick saved his sister from a deadly New York home fire.
Well, very good.
Police say a 6-year-old boy rescued his 2-year-old sister from a fire at a Long Island house where 3 adults later were found dead. So I guess there's good and bad news in this story. They say the boy told them he awoke and smelled smoke, and he and his sister began coughing, so he led her outside. They say that 2 women and a man were found burned alive inside the house. It's unclear as to...
Still a heroic effort by a 6-year-old child.
Oh, gosh, the ones they found that were dead had been shot. They don't know if they died from fire or from, from gunshot wounds, and they haven't ruled out arson. So, anyway, I guess that's good and bad.
Yes, it is. But it's still, I like it when people go above what is generally expected of their age or their gender or something like that. I always impressed by that.
Let's see, here's another story about a girl who's 16 years old now, but when she was born, she was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, an inflammation of the heart muscle that impairs your heart's ability to work. So they did a transplant, but they didn't remove her old heart. They added a second heart.
Oh, okay.
And that second heart has been beating from the time that she was, a youngster, an infant, to recently when she turned 16. And she was taking all this anti-rejection medicine, which caused her to get cancer. But she beat that, and then after that, the heart started failing. And so the doctors said, first of all, it was an unusual operation for when in '94, when she was 8 months old, to add a heart, not remove a heart, but add a heart. And now when she turned 16 years later, they had never removed the transplanted heart and tried to go back to the original heart to see if it would work. And I guess all these years of it resting, it's gotten stronger. They removed the old heart, the new heart, so the old heart just starts working, and she's off of anti-rejection medicine and just a regular young kid now.
Wow. She's been through a lot. I bet that takes a lot of heart.
Right. In the beginning, 2 to be exact.
I was waiting for the place to throw that in there.
I guess they only gave her a 50-50 chance at the beginning when they added a heart, and the odds were even less because they never had done that before.
Right.
And I guess they know the odds were.
So her original heart was just hanging out, resting all that time, and now strong as it needs to be.
Yep.
Well, that's a good story.
Yeah.
That's an excellent story. Defying the odds.
Indeed. That's all the good stories I got.
Well, I have a good story right here. The Connecticut Nurse of the Year.
Well, tell us. What's her name?
Her name is Betty.
Oh, I was going to say, is that Betty?
Nurse Betty.
Nurse Betty.
A Connecticut woman who authorities say spent more than $2,000 to stage a dinner honoring her as Nurse of the Year has been charged with pretending to be a nurse at a doctor's office.
Impersonating a nurse.
Yes.
And she was Nurse of the Year.
Yeah.
And she really wasn't a nurse.
Exactly.
She's a good actress.
Yes. Dr. Gerald Weiss believes Betty Lichtenstein of Norwalk was a registered nurse, especially after she was named Connecticut Nursing Association's Nurse of the Year in 2008. According to the arrest warrant, that association does not exist.
Oh, really? She made that up?
She made up her own association. Awarded herself Nurse of the Year, and then got a job as a nurse.
That is awesome.
With a real doctor. She faces up to 5 years in prison and is convicted of reckless endangerment and criminal impersonation charges. So, a patient complained about her. That's how they got tipped off.
Oh, I see.
Because apparently she doesn't even have a nursing license, no training, no schooling, nothing. She just became a nurse of her own merit.
Huh.
That wasn't really a good story. Just I was going to be hey, Nurse of the Year.
Well, this is a story that's got a happy ending, I guess.
Now, wait a second. This is a family show.
Long time.
Okay.
Dead baby wakes before funeral. It's hard to believe it's a good story when it starts with dead baby. But wait, you got to hear the whole thing.
Okay.
Dead baby wakes before funeral. The baby's family saw, a premature baby declared dead by doctors at a hospital in Paraguay was found to be alive hours later when he was taken home for a funeral wake. Jose Alvarenga said he had discovered his son was alive after he heard crying from the box in which he was placed. The baby is now back at the same hospital's intensive care unit and reported to be in stable condition. So, the head of the pediatric care of the hospital said a doctor had not properly checked the infant's vital signs. You think?
I don't think maybe they just didn't spank him yet.
This is a very unusual case. They told the Associated Press. The doctor who works at the hospital's maternity unit said staff had tried to revive the baby for an hour before declaring him dead. Wow. His pulse was so low that it was undetectable. According to medical records, the baby weighed only 500 grams at 17.6 ounces. That's small.
Just over a pound.
Yeah. The smallest on record was an American boy who weighed just 10 ounces, born at less than 22 weeks. So,
not much bigger than a squirrel. Put him in a shoebox.
About the size of a mustard biscuit.
I love that movie. In case the people are wondering if we've lost our mind, we're talking about Sling Blade. If you haven't seen it, please do yourself a favor and go watch it.
I saw the parallel there with the dead baby crying.
Right. I'm glad the baby is okay and not dead, and that they didn't bury it alive, which would have been horrible.
See, happy ending.
Yes, absolutely. I have a happy story.
Tell me.
An obese inmate in Texas has been charged after officials learned he had a gun hidden in his rolls of fat.
Really? How obese?
I don't. Apparently
500 pounds.
500 pounds. Right there it is, a big bowl. 500-pound inmate. Jorge Vera, 25, was charged with possession of a firearm at a correctional facility after he told a guard at the Harris County Jail about the unloaded 9mm pistol. He's apparently not too bright because he told the guard about it. If you're smuggling in a gun in the first place, if you're going to let people know about it, why would you smuggle it? Why wouldn't you just have it in plain sight?
Not to mention, the gun's pretty much useless without bullets.
Right.
Maybe they had those in another roll.
Yes. He probably did. Houston Chronicle reported Thursday that Vera was originally arrested on charges of selling illegal copies of compact discs. Mm-hmm. The 500-pound man was searched during his arrest and again at a city jail, but officers never found the weapon. Vera admitted having the gun during a shower break at county jail. Why did he tell on himself? That's kind of odd. Maybe he was feeling remorseful. I don't know. Or maybe he figured he didn't have bullets. Like you said, it was really not much use. We like the criminal weird stories here. And about the drunks. We have some good drunk stories tonight, don't we?
We do. I got one right now.
Well, please share.
Woman nabbed twice for DUI on same night in 2 cars. This happened yesterday in Lincoln, Nebraska. Policewoman was arrested twice in the same night in 2 different cars for driving drunk.
A what woman?
I don't know what I say.
I thought you said police woman.
No, police arrested a woman.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Let me speak more clearly. Police arrested a woman twice in one night in 2 different cars for driving drunk. Police spokesman Katie Flood said the woman was pulled over at 1:13 a.m. Wednesday after she allegedly made an illegal turn and was spotted swerving down a South Lincoln street. The officer who stopped her said her blood alcohol level was 0.19. That's more than twice the legal limit. The woman was cited on suspicion of driving under the influence and negligent driving and taken to a detoxification center. Flood said the same officer stopped the woman again about 2 hours later. This time she was driving her boyfriend's car. She was arrested for driving under the influence and negligent driving and taken to jail, and her blood alcohol level then was tested at 0.154.
Look him down a little bit.
It came down a little bit.
Apparently the detox center worked.
Yes. At that rate.
She would have been sober by September.
You got any drunken...
I do have drunken stories.
Alcohol-related stories?
Yes. I have a DUI story, as a matter of fact.
Well, share.
A DUI on his lawnmower. We've had some of those before.
Yeah.
With a revoked license because of a previous drunken driving conviction. And I love this part. Dennis Cretton shouldn't drive. But authorities said that didn't stop the 49-year-old man from drunkenly driving to a gas station for more beer on his yellow riding lawnmower.
I had a yellow riding lawnmower. I'd never thought of using it.
Cretton was charged with felony aggravated driving under the influence after neighbors reported he was weaving in and out of traffic. Excuse me. Dang it. On his lawnmower Friday night. When deputies tried to stop him, authorities said Breton drove the lawnmower into his home's front yard, his 12-pack of Milwaukee's Best spilling onto the ground along the way. He was free on $10,000 bond. Calls to his home went unanswered Tuesday because he was still passed out.
What a waste of Milwaukee's Best.
Exactly.
This doesn't get any better than
that. It doesn't get any better than this. It really doesn't. I thought that was funny because it said he shouldn't be driving.
Right.
But in addition to not driving, he shouldn't be driving drunk. Even if he was sober, he shouldn't be driving because his license had been revoked.
Right.
But on top of that, revoked license or not, you should never drive drunk. So he had revoked license, so he shouldn't be driving. He shouldn't be driving drunk. So he's driving drunk with a revoked license on his lawnmower to go get more beer.
You don't have to have a license to drive a lawnmower.
No, but you shouldn't be driving anything if you're drunk.
That is true.
So if he had been sober and drove his lawnmower to go get beer and come back and drink it in his home, that would have been different.
Right.
Or
that would have been legal, I think.
Actually, but I think the problem was he was weaving in and out of traffic. So even if he had been sober, I don't think you can get on your lawnmower and weave in and out of traffic.
How slow is traffic going if you're weaving in and out of it on a lawnmower?
They were probably slowing down to keep from running him over.
You need to test those drivers that are driving that slow. This comes from, this is our sheep award for the day.
Okay.
Okay. South Florida. You know how much I detest these type of people.
Right.
Treasure Coast man blames cat for downloading child pornography.
Oh, my goodness.
Martin County.
Cat.
Martin County deputies didn't buy it when a 48-year-old Jensen Beach man claimed that his cat was downloading child pornography on his computer. Keith R. Griffin of the 3600 block of Northeast Jeanette Drive was charged Wednesday with 10 counts of possession of child pornography after detectives found more than 1,000 child pornographic images on his computer, according to a news release. Griffin told detectives he would leave his computer on and his cat would jump on the keyboard. When he returned, there would be strange material downloaded, the release states. Griffin was being held in the Martin County Jail in lieu of a $250,000 bail.
What's his name again?
His name is Keith R. Griffin.
And what's his address?
He's in the 3600 block of Northeast Jeanette Drive.
That's what he gives our sheep award. Here's an interesting thing. If there was one or two random pics of child pornography, and then all manner of other stuff, YouTube files, regular porn, sports articles,
kitty litter, kitty advertisements,
Wikipedia articles about Zimbabwe. If it were completely random, I would still find it difficult to believe, but I would say, okay, I can see how at least that's within the possibility of happening. But if it's all one particular content and over 1,000 pictures, seriously. I mean, if that's the best defense he can come up with, he might as well go ahead and just check into the prison.
Indeed.
Or the chair. I don't know. I don't have any patience for people. We won't call his name, Jim Menzel.
Oh, was that his name? How did you ask him what his name was?
Did I just say that out loud?
I was actually on in North Carolina. We have a website called North Carolina Sex Offenders or something like that. Where you can actually do a search for sex offenders,
right? And
type in an address, and it'll tell you sex offenders in that area. And it'll actually show you a map of that area, where their house is, and if you just drag your cursor over top of it, it'll pop up a picture of the person, how some knew their age, their address, and what they were convicted of.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. And I thought I recognized the guy. I can't remember now if that was the name that came up.
Jim Menzel. I'm not going to call Jim Menzel by name.
No. Jim Menzel.
That wouldn't be fair to him.
No.
He's paid his debt to society.
He has.
But I found when we worked together at a computer store, thousands of child pornography.
On a computer owned by a Jim Menzel.
Owned by a Jim Menzel, yeah.
Not that, his cat may have downloaded
exactly.
pictures.
And the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation came and confiscated his computer, and then they went to his house, burst down the door, and they found even more paraphernalia there. So, yeah, I don't have any tolerance for people like that. I have less tolerance for the people that are making the child pornography. I mean, the people that are buying it and whatnot, I mean, they're sick, but the people that are making it, they're sick. To me, that's even more because they're the ones that are actually forcing the children into that.
Right.
And I say, hang them. I don't have any patience for that.
Yeah, we talk about punishment and how some crimes the punishment's more severe than others. That's
right.
One where the punishment does not fit the crime.
Right.
It definitely needs to be far more severe than it is.
Right.
So.
Well, but what's wrong with people? We're kind of taking a negative spin here, but what is wrong?
I can't imagine why somebody would be wired that way.
What is wrong with people? My mother and I were talking about this one time in code, because my mother does not talk about anything sexually related. So it's kind of like speaking in code, but she was, basically her point was, anybody can get sex. I mean, seriously. You don't even have to go to a prostitute. Anybody, I don't care what you look like, can get sex. And then if you think you can't, anybody can get a prostitute. Why would anybody, obviously 99% of rapes are about empowering over someone, but still, why would you rape for sex, or why would you do something like that to a child or to an animal when you could go out and get consensual sex from anybody? I mean, it's out there. So something has to be severely wrong with a person.
But what's bizarre to me
to even want that
is it's not these aren't isolated incidents. There's that sexual force that site that I told you about. It's not just child.
Right.
But it's a lot of there's a lot of pedophiles out there, and that's what I don't understand.
Right.
Is how there's that many people that are wired.
I do have a problem with that site. Whereas, and you and I have discussed this before, I believe you agree, and David was talking about too, the classic, let's say you're 18 and your girlfriend is 3 days away from her 17th birthday and her parents catch you and they want to press charges. Right. Or even if they don't want to press charges, if the police get involved, it's automatically statutory rape, then you're on that list.
Right.
And then people are like, oh my God, keep my kids away from you. She was 17. We've been dating for 4 years. Been having sex for 4 years.
That site's a little better than it used to be because it does at least tell you what degree they were charged up for and that kind of stuff.
And I think that makes it a little bit more fair because if it was statutory rape when the guy was 18 right. and the girl was 16 or 17, I'm not going to worry about my kid around me.
Right.
If he was caught molesting some kid in a park, I'm going to wonder why is he out of prison and alive.
Right.
And I'm going to keep away from him myself and my kid. So. Anyhow, his cat. Wow. Well, that defense won't get him very far. If it does, that just shows you our judicial system is as screwed up as I claim it is. Well, you've heard of what's her name? The actress, Winona Ryder? No.
Yeah.
The klepto?
Winona. Yeah.
Winona. Is she the klepto?
She is.
Well, this guy must be her father. He's 86-year-old gentleman from Chicago. He's been arrested more than 60 times.
He actually looks like he's in pretty good shape for an 86-year-old.
Yeah. He has pleaded guilty to the latest charge against. Oh, it says her. Apparently, that's a woman. Maybe he doesn't look so good. Yeah. Ella. Yeah, that is a woman. I didn't see the name. I thought it was an old man.
It looked like an old man. I can see that. I would never have guessed Ella.
Wow. Thought he was just a little bit effeminate looking, but no, that is an old woman. Okay. Anyhow, she's pleaded guilty to the latest charge after being accused of stealing wrinkle cream.
Ella, you need more than that.
Maybe a helpful.
Estrogen and
Ella had been charged with felony shoplifting, but that was reduced to misdemeanor in exchange for her guilty plea on Monday. Judge Marvin Luckman sentenced her to 2 days in jail, which is what she's already served. So I guess they're letting her go away with time served because she's 86 and pleaded guilty.
And stealing wrinkle cream. You got to feel sorry for a woman that looks like a man.
Right.
But speaking of,
I thought it was Don Imus. I thought it was Don Imus. It was like, oh, Don Imus got in trouble for shoplifting. I was like, no, that's not Don.
Well, here's a punishment that I wouldn't necessarily say fits the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. New Jersey teacher to pay $22,000 fine
mm-hmm.
for a 4-minute phone call on her cell phone during class.
$22,000.
$22,000.
That seems unreasonable.
Her lawyer says a New Jersey teacher won't appeal
mm-hmm.
a $22,000 fine for making a 4-minute personal call in class. Attorney Stephen Hunter says Dulcie Getty acknowledges she made a mistake. The 120-day salary forfeiture will be based on calendar days and will be deducted from a base salary of about $70,000. That's a lot of money for a teacher. A previous story has estimated the penalty to be as much as $50,000 based on 120 workdays. Court records show Asbury Park High School performing arts teacher was covering for another teacher in 2008 when she called suspended superintendent Antonio Lewis. Anyway.
So the issue at hand, let's take away the punishment. Let's take away the actual punishment we both feel is unjust. The issue they had was she was making a personal call while she was in the middle of class. So basically on the school's time.
Right.
And I understand if they have a policy against that, then I understand that there has to be some corrective action.
Right.
But $22,000 penalty, that seems unreasonable to me.
Right.
Apparently we've had a disgruntled listener who has come and left. Who did not appreciate our show. But that's okay. We have plenty to do. Well, I have a story about a teacher.
Tell me.
Maybe this teacher should be fined $22,000.
Okay, let's hear.
From that big city in Malaysia with the 2 tall buildings. I can't pronounce Kuala Lumpur, maybe. A Malaysian teacher forced a student to smoke 42 cigarettes for 4 hours as punishment after a cigarette and lighter were found in his locker. That seems a little extreme. A school official confirmed that the English teacher subjected the student to the unusual punishment, but said that the teenager was made to smoke fewer than 42 cigarettes. He declined to elaborate. He said the teacher was upset when she found a model student, 16-year-old Muhammad Ali Arifin, had a cigarette and lighter in his locker in the school in northern island of Langkawi. The boy was also smelling of cigarettes, said a school official who declined to be named, citing protocol. He said the school apologized to the boy's uncle, who lodged a police report when he found out about the punishment. This is not normal. We don't do that often. Okay. He said it was up to the state's education department to take action against the teacher. The New Straits Times daily quoted the teen as saying he was made to smoke 42 cigarettes, 4 at a time, for more than 2 hours. The punishment was witnessed by other teachers and students. It's going to be kind of hard to deny that. In 2007, a teacher was reprimanded after she made almost 140 teenage girls squat in a pond at a boarding school as punishment for clogging the toilets. The punishment caused an outcry, leading to Malaysia's education ministry to announce it would issue specific guidelines on how teachers discipline students. The government permits boys to be whipped with a rattan cane in schools for such offenses as smoking, vandalism, and harming others.
We used to get beat as kids, and at least I did, and I should say I did. The school that I attended in elementary would allow for the principal to beat us if necessary.
I don't have a problem with the corporal punishment, but making a kid smoke 42 cigarettes, 4 at a time,
excessive.
That seems a little excessive to me. That's not even a punishment. That's not even discipline. That's not teaching anyone a lesson.
Well, it makes you sick of cigarettes. One time my dad caught me eating applesauce right out of the jar, and he made me eat the whole big-ass jar in one sitting.
Right.
Which was pretty...
I could do that right now.
I kind of like it now, but I did not want to eat out of them anymore. I did not eat out of the applesauce out of the jar.
Yeah, but also that's not something harmful.
No.
Whereas,
Okay, well, at a wedding when I was younger, I was probably 11 or something like that. Me and my friend John were at the same wedding, and we started drinking at the wedding. Parents caught us. Let us drink. They didn't reprimand us, and we just got drunk off our ass to the point where I did not want to drink again until much later in high school. Much later that week. And that wasn't good for me, but
Right. We're going to do a live vote right here. Did the teacher go too far? Making the students smoke 42 cigarettes.
I have to agree.
You have to agree.
I would be part of the 65% that believe that she did.
We'll submit our vote. We'll say yes.
32% that believe that she didn't. That's surprising. I would have thought it was much bigger disparity there.
I wouldn't have a problem with it. I would think it was ridiculous. I don't think that the reason why I don't agree with it is because it wasn't disciplined. It's not teaching like a life lesson or whatever.
Here's my next story. It's titled, Who's Your Mama? A Sydney couple will have to apply to the New South Wales Supreme Court in Australia for permission to adopt their own son.
What?
After the family court found that in the eyes of the law, he was not theirs. The case involved a couple known in court documents only as Sharon and Paul, who were unable to conceive because Sharon had been treated for cervical cancer. The Australian, before having treatment that rendered her infertile, Sharon had her eggs harvested and stored, and one of those legs were later mixed with Paul's sperm, creating an embryo. Sharon's mother, Lauren, offered to carry the embryo for her daughter as a surrogate. The child, known as Michael, was born in October of 2008. Immediately after the birth, Lauren, the grandmother, handed the baby to Sharon and Paul, and they've raised them ever since. The couple listed Paul as a father on the birth certificate, but since he provided sperm, while Lauren, his grandmother, had to be listed as a mother since she gave birth. Okay. Sharon and Paul went to court to see if Sharon could formally adopt Michael. To the family's surprise, the judge ruled on August 3rd that not only was Sharon not the mother, but Paul wasn't the father. Under Section 60 of the Family Law Act, couples who undergo artificial conception using donated sperm or eggs are the legal parents of the children they conceived, regardless of whether the sperm they used was their sperm and eggs. And a wife who undergoes assisted conception is the mother, even if it isn't her egg, and her husband is the father, even if it wasn't his sperm. So the grandmother and grandfather are technically the mother, are definitely the mother and father. So
they need to rewrite their law.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
The biological parents are the ones that the sperm and the egg came from. Period.
Right.
If the judge says otherwise, then he's not competent.
Well, in Australia, they apparently aren't competent.
Apparently not.
The laws are definitely crazy.
That's crazy. Stuck in the 70s, made a comment on our last story. He said, if it stopped the kid from smoking, she was right to do it. And I said that was a good point because smoking is nasty.
Yes.
Even smokers don't want their kids to smoke.
Right.
So yeah, maybe the kid will learn a lesson and never smoke again. And then may have been a harsh lesson to learn, but they'd be better off for it.
Right.
Did you hear about the guy?
I forced my daughter to smoke 42 cigarettes right now if I knew she never smoked
Oh, really?
in her life.
Wouldn't you rather just, well, you couldn't say she never smoked, so she had smoked 42 cigarettes.
She wouldn't smoke any further. Let's put it that way.
That's nasty. Just tell her that you will tie her up in the closet and feed her bread and water for about 3 years if she does.
Yes.
That's what I would do. That's what I did to Bella.
If you ask her if she's going to smoke, and she'll say, "No, Daddy, I don't want to die."
Oh my! I never was tempted with it. There was. I think mainly because I'm allergic to it.
I smoked one time when I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10, and I had an allergic reaction to it. I had like yellow pus coming out of my eyes. Oh. So I didn't smoke.
Well, you're a lesson.
I didn't smoke cigarettes after that. I didn't smoke tobacco after that.
Okay. Well, hash, opium.
What are you talking about?
Heroin.
I'm not familiar with those terms.
Talking about judges, there's a judge that said, "You're not going to disrespect me." This must have been Judge Joe Brown. Drowsy spectators in one suburban Chicago courtroom might want to stifle the yawns from now on. Clifton Williams, 33, of Richton Park, is facing 6 months in jail for making what court documents called a yawn-like sound in Will County Judge Daniel Rozak's court last month.
Were they listening to our show?
They probably were.
Thursday at about?
Thursday around 6:32 Eastern Standard Time. The yawn happened as Williams' cousin, Jason Mayfield, was being sentenced for a drug charge. So there's more to it than they let you know up front. Basically, they were sentencing his cousin. It was like his form of protest, and he was making a howling sound, trying to pass it off as a yawn, and the judge was like, "I don't think so." He found him in contempt of court, sentenced to 6 months. However, he could free him after a status hearing Thursday if Williams apologizes and the judge accepts. By then, he will have served 21 days.
For yawning.
Yes. There's 6 months for me.
All right, listeners, don't let us catch you yawning.
But it was more than just yawning. He was being purposely disruptive, trying to make his point. So the judge is like, "Well, actually, I'm the one with authority to make a point."
Right. What kind of drugs did it say?
It didn't say.
Well, speaking of drugs, you've heard of Viagra.
Viagra.
Have you heard of Viagra ice cream?
No, I haven't.
Viagra ice cream to go on sale. There's a place called Ice Creamists. That's the name of the store. It's called the Ice Creamists. And they will serve the Sex Pistol as an ice cream cocktail packed with libido-boosting ingredients. And then they've named it, I guess they've named it the Sex Pistol, but it'll be like Viagra ice cream.
Well, you know, Viagra really doesn't do anything to your libido. It just...
like magic shell. It makes it hard.
Exactly. You may not have much of a libido, but at least you can still do something about it.
That's right. Anyway.
That sounds like a marketing
I won't read the whole story, but I thought that was kind of interesting. I know you love ice cream.
I do.
And sex. So.
At the same time, as a matter of fact.
There you go.
I love peanut butter ice cream.
The Sex Pistol.
The peanut butter ice cream is probably my favorite ice cream ever.
Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you use.
Oh, don't rap.
It's the Sex Pistol.
No, that's vanilla. That's the Digital Underground.
Oh, that's the Digital Underground. Okay.
Sex Pistols, that was a punk band from England. What are you talking about? Johnny Rotten?
I don't ever argue music with you.
I may be making that up. Who else was? Now I'm going to have to go look it up.
Here's something to get your gander up.
Okay.
PETA.
Sid Vicious.
PETA.
Johnny Rotten.
PETA.
PETA. Well,
Yeah,
there you go.
it's PETA.
I'm ready to beat somebody now.
PETA's bloody, unhappy meals making parents angry. An unhappy meal from the people of the ethical treatment of animals, which has been rankling parents who are disturbed by the bloody images intended for their children. Basically, it's like a Happy Meal box of Ronald McDonald, who's got like a bloody knife, stabbing chickens and stuff like that. So they're not. It's part of PETA's McCruelty campaign.
Oh yes.
So, and parents are saying they don't want their kids exposed to any throat-slitting chickens or pictures of slaughtered poultry.
I would absolutely love for Nancy or someone high up in PETA to get caught on film eating steak or something like that.
Right.
Or beating their dog. That would just, it shouldn't, but that would make me happy. Because I have no tolerance for them. And I don't have any problem with eating meat. And if they don't want to eat meat, that's just more for us, as far as I'm concerned. Meat's delicious. Bacon? Man, we should eat some bacon tonight for supper.
I fixed a bacon weave the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, at that party on Saturday. I had
Can
a
you
bacon
tell me
weave.
anything about a bacon weave?
Well, it really wasn't for bacon weave per se.
Oh my goodness.
Not that what I did make the bacon weave.
And you had chocolate-covered Oreo balls?
Chocolate-covered Oreo balls. We know how to party. But I made a bacon weave, and I placed it over top. I cooked it slightly. I cooked it till it was still pliable.
Flaccid.
Limp. And then I took I was making baked beans, and I put the bacon weave on top of the baked beans, and I baked them for about 2 hours.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
So I didn't have anything rolled up in the bacon weave, but it
was still a bacon weave.
It
was a nice presentation.
It was a nice presentation, and bacon always tastes good.
It does. Have you ever seen an otter? They're very cute little critters.
I don't recall if I've ever seen one or not.
Well, there was an Austrian woman who was vacationing in Wisconsin, or as they say, Wisconsin. We're about out of time, but she was swimming in a lake, and she was bitten by an otter. She got rabies.
Really?
I think stories about rabies are always kind of cool. Yeah, she was bit on both legs. No, they were attached to her still.
The otters were attached to her legs.
Yeah.
Was it wooden legs?
Yeah. She said they swam off when she shook her legs, but not before biting her 8 or 9 times. She said the bites didn't hurt much, but she did go to the hospital where they started a series of rabies shots, which I've never had, and I hope I never do, because they give them to you in your stomach with these long...
And it's like 7 shots.
Yeah, they're these really long needles, and they're like large in diameter, and they put it into your stomach while you're watching. They make you watch. If you don't watch, they...
I don't understand these big-ass, long-ass needles. They look like they're thicker than your damn body.
Yeah.
Why do they need them that long?
I don't know.
That's scary.
Apparently, if you get rabies, they need to get... There's something they have to get in a very specific place. And they give you like 7 or 8 in a row. Oh, my goodness.
Do they bite her in the right leg or the otter?
No. Oh, my goodness.
So on that note, can we at least play the hover around commercial or something?
Hey, Bernice and Joy, tell everyone which power wheelchair got you to the Grand Canyon.
Hover round. Now I'm free to see the world.
With a Hover-Round, you truly are free to see the world. Hover-Round's award-winning compact round design makes it the most maneuverable power chair in the world. And because it's portable enough to easily fit in a car trunk and powerful enough to pull a 2-ton van, Hover-Round gives you the freedom to go almost anywhere, even the Grand Canyon. Find out if a Hover-Round is right for you. Call one of our friendly mobility specialists for a free evaluation and free Hover-Round video. Hover-Round's licensed nurses will work with you to determine if you qualify for Medicare, VA, or other insurance. With Medicare and a supplement, owning a Hover-Round could cost you...
Thank you, people. Thank you, Stuck in the 70s. You're good sport sticking through this nonsense. And for all the rest of our listeners, thank you. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
This has been Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings of C&E. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, and we would like to thank you for listening to our show today. Don't forget to tune in for next week's show live from Greensboro, North Carolina, as we are every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time.